Hello everybody, here's a quick comparison between the LG Optimus V and the HTC Wildfire S from Virgin Mobile. Both of them are from Virgin Mobile. First of all, here's the HTC phone, here's the LG phone. This one's newer, that one's older. First of all, basically the phone body. You can see the HTC phone. The Wildfire S is much more, I guess, physically looks well. Otherwise, you can see they both have that. The power button, or the power port, let's get rid of some of this glare if I can. You can see the power port is on the side for this one, and the bottom for this one. This one, the LG Optimus, has a camera button and a voice dial key. And the volume rockers on the the right side versus the left side. Then this one has no voice key and no camera key. Next, the specs wise, they both have the same size screen, 3.2-inch HVGA screens. As you can see, even though the screen's the same, the HTC Wildfire S is much smaller. I'll put this down so you can see. I'll line them up from that. There we go. You can see there's quite a big difference in in size, and you can feel it. This one is much smaller in the hand from this one, though they're both small. Also, the HTC Wildfire S has HTC Sense pre-installed, which is basically a customization, like an overlay of the software. So you can see apps are sorted by all apps, frequent, downloaded, and Virgin Mobile. And they scroll down one page at a time. And you can change all the bottom here, this dock is different. Up here you have access to recently used apps as well as your quick settings that you can just handily get to. And there are many different widgets you can use and just customization options as a whole. So that's a plus for this phone. Specs wise, I already said they both have a 3.2-inch screen. They both have a 600 megahertz processor. This one has capacitive touch buttons there. This one is physical buttons, so you can unlock it with that, like turn on the screen. As well, let's check out messaging. So specs wise, these phones are quite similar. I need to clear something here. I need to clear my messages so we don't see that. This phone isn't currently active. Alright, so here's the messaging. Oop, that can't be great. Don't know why I always manage to drop these phones during my reviews and things. Alright, you can see, first off, the keyboards are different. And I know you can download different keyboards from the market. I always get comments about that. Yes, I know. But these are the stock keyboards that come with it. This is the HTC Sense keyboard. And this is the Android 2.1 keyboard. This phone, or 2.2. This phone does not have Gingerbread yet. It's just Android Froyo. Whereas this one actually is Gingerbread. So that's another spec difference, I guess. Keyboard wise, I'm not really going to type for you. Yes, they both go in landscape mode as well. But I will tell you, it's much harder to type on the Wildfire. This one is much easier. Even though the screen size is the same, it's harder holding the smaller phone. And also the keyboard doesn't autocorrect as well. And so I find that unless you know how to get this keyboard onto here, I find that this one just I made so many mistakes while I'm typing. It's just not even. It's quite a difficult task. Now we're going to take a quick peek at the signal strength comparison. Even though this one isn't activated, it should still show up as decibels down here. Another thing, the battery life on the HTC Wildfire is terrible. I could not make it through a day with even slight use, whereas this one I can usually make it a day or almost a day with slight or moderate use, my usual use. Let's see what we've got here. I know this isn't a very scientific test, but sitting next to each other, the lower decibel number is better because you can see it's negative. So obviously, let's see here. Oh, I don't even have it on there. Okay, so this one's negative 96 and this one's negative 94. Right now, goodness sakes, you can't even see that. Okay. Well, this one, 96, 94. 94 is higher because they're negative numbers, so this one's getting slightly better signal. And, now this one's at negative 95. And that's decibels. But either way, they're about the same. This one, though, has signal issues. Sometimes it will lock itself onto 1x instead of 3G sometimes, which I don't understand, and then it takes a while to get off, and I mean, it shouldn't be on 1x in the city. I mean, this one never goes on 1x. So, just something to note. And now let's take a look at the browser. The browsers are a bit different. As you can see, looks-wise, they're a bit different. This one gets rid of the top bar. Alright, so we'll go to, let's see here. And we're not going to do any loading speed tests because my Wi-Fi is not very slow, or not very fast. It's a cellular connection. So this may take a while to load, but I will tell you about it. Pinch to zoom's not great on this phone. Pinch to zoom is decent on this phone, but this phone has flash on it, and this phone does not. And also, in general, I found this one speedier at loading. As you can see, it's already further loaded than this one is, even though this one started first. And you can see different design differences, the loading bar and stuff. I will also show you, let's zoom out here. This one with HTC Sense's personalizations for Windows. The Windows, oops, that's bookmarks, don't need to see that. Windows are laid out differently. This one will slide to a new screen. Windows, there we go. So you can see it's much more visually appealing. And also, if you're here and you go out, that's where it shows the preview. It's not just the entire page. As you can see, the flash ads are loading. And I know the page is not completely loaded. Oh, here it's loaded over here, but there are no flash ads. So keep that in mind. Oh, I guess it's not loaded. Goodness sakes. And otherwise, so I found this browser better, though with flash it does slow it down a bit. As you can see, actually that's pretty good for 600 megahertz, but then sometimes it'll freeze, and there you go. Alright, so that's the browser. The calls on these phones are both, I mean, there was nothing wrong with them on either end. Though on the HTC Wildfire, calls tended to sound just excellent on this speaker in ear, so that was nice. Speed test, I'm not going to do any. One of them's not activated right now, and my Wi-Fi won't take them both at the same time. So I'm just going to say they were both about the same. I didn't do that many speed tests when I reviewed this one. This is my personal phone. This one I've seen pretty high speeds. This one I just saw average, but I didn't do many tests. So keep that in mind. Quadrant, this one I only got it to run once, and I had to uninstall it because one thing I should mention, memory is an issue on both of these. I don't know what's wrong, but memory, there's not much memory. And so you won't be able to install a ton of apps or games and stuff. I just have not very many, and I keep deleting them because, you know, the memory from my Facebook app and stuff, it takes up memory. So keep that in mind. And also, so what was I saying here? Quadrant, I get the one time I did get it to work, I got about 400, I believe, 500. This one got around 800 to 900, and that's much better, obviously. It ranked right below the Galaxy S, so the first generation. So that's pretty good. But I do find them both quite responsive phones. Let's look at a game quickly, and then we'll check out the cameras. So the game that I got, sorry, it's hard to do these on camera. It's hard to use them. Okay. Lane Splitter. It's kind of fun. Because I know some of you have complained about me using Angry Birds, but, you know, that's just a game that everybody knows of, and so that's why I use it in answer to your questions. Because, well, it's a game everyone knows of, and so people can relate. Alright, I don't want the sound on, though speaker sound tended to be better on the HTC Wildfire. Alright. I'm gonna need to hold these, so see if I can show you it all. I know I'm gonna fail right away like this, but that's okay, that's irrelevant for testing. Loading. Alright, and as you can see, oops, I already lost, nope. What I've found is that this one, the Optimus V, tends to be more responsive by just a little bit. This one sometimes froze up and just like there'd be pauses in the game, so that's all I'm going to show you. So, but I mean, this isn't neither of them are going to take very high quality games. Angry Birds works fine on them. This one, it's a little bit jumpy. This one's a little better. But they are both 600 megahertz processors, so keep that in mind. Alright, and now for the cameras. The Optimus has a dedicated camera button, which is very nice. And the Wildfire S does not. So, oh boy, okay. There we go. Camera. They both take 480p video, and they both, well, actually this one right here, the HTC, is a 5 megapixel camera, and it has the HTC camera app, which is much handier. So, for example, I can tap here to focus here on the picture, rather than always focusing in the center. On the Optimus V, it's the standard Android camera app, which isn't very good. Like, you can't tap to focus. Oh, I didn't even know you could do that. I guess you can tap to zoom in on an area, or just forward. But on here, you have to zoom in with this. And I don't think the volume keys work for that. Nope. Alright, and then that's how you switch it to camcorder. There is no LED flash on this one. Photos turn out, you know, okay on the Optimus V. And video isn't excellent, but it's okay. On here with the 5 megapixel camera, photos turned out quite nice. And video, well, you can see my sample video and judge for yourself. It was a bit jumpy. But it's on YouTube, and I should have one from the Optimus V on YouTube too. And as you can see, it's auto-focusing without me pressing anything. And the green means it auto-focused, and it will just keep doing that, which is nice. So it will keep it focused. And it has the LED flash. It's one LED, but it works really well. On the camcorder, let's see. So when you use the camcorder, you can set it to always on, when you can basically use it as a flashlight or with a flashlight app, or recording a video in the dark. Very handy because, well, you can see. So that's definitely a plus. Overall, with my experience with both of these devices, I prefer the Optimus V. This one was a bit. It was I guess my main reason is I could not type on it. It's too small of a phone, even though it looks great. It's just very hard to type on, and also it had little bugs. Whereas, like, it would type or it would press like the wrong letter on the screen, or it would just press something in slightly the wrong place, which really made things tough. So just keep that in mind when you buy. I would recommend this one, even though it's older and I know it's cheaper, and you will think that, well, this one should be better because it's more expensive, but really I find this one better. Obviously this one looks better. It has HTC Sense, which is very customizable and stuff, but go try them out yourself. You can always return them free of charge, but I would recommend this one. Thanks for watching.